What's up, Boulder, Colorado? Today, we've got several great news stories for you, so let's get right to it. Our main story today is about Coach Prime having to self-report Colorado for some NCAA violations. We're also going to talk about the insane amount of money that Colorado just released in its financial report, as well as some other great stories. So grab you a bag of flips, sit back, and get ready, because this is the prime time for college football. Now, our first story today, we're going to talk about Coach Prime self-reporting NCAA violations. Recently, On 3, Care of USA Today reported Colorado recruiting violations from year one of the Deion Sanders era. According to the article, Colorado self-reported 11 minor recruiting violations from the time that Coach Prime was hired in December of 2022. The violations included dealings with the transfer portal, social media, and improper contact with recruits. It's not expected that any of the violations are going to lead to any serious penalties. In fact, teams do this all the time. You'll notice that Georgia just did this about a week ago as well. Colorado imposed a recruiting ban for 2 weeks as a punishment, also had a one-day ban from the transfer portal and recruiting in it during December. Other violations included game day simulation, social media infractions, and an unauthorized yoga session with the football team. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think that the NCAA honestly owes Coach Prime an apology. And not only do they owe Colorado, they owe every other team the same thing. Per the USA Today article, these violations are extremely common and being reported by almost every team in the country. Now, because it's Colorado, the media covers it like it's major news. It's breaking everywhere. USA Today is all over it. On 3's all over it. We're talking about it because those outlets put it on blast. And this is happening mostly because of the NCAA. Listen, I know that not all of you are Colorado First fans. Some of you like Michigan. Some of you like UGA. Some of you like Florida State. Some of you like Miami. Some of you like the Gator. I've seen your posts. I've seen your replies. In fact, comment below and remind me, who is your team? Who's your first team besides Colorado? And then you picked up Coach Prime, or Colorado might be your only team, but who else do you root for? But here's the thing. Nobody else is getting that same treatment. But none of you that are going to comment are going to say, I'm just a fan of the NCAA. No one likes the NCAA is my major point of takeaway there. But because the NCAA failed and waited way too long to come up with rules for NIL, for the way that recruiting should happen now, all of these teams are getting in trouble. The NCAA scrambled to come up with rules on the fly. And now Colorado's compliance department is having to do cartwheels and backflips to appease them. The NCAA is truly worthless, and they are consistently a day late and $1 short. Last year, when they made up a new transfer rule after several players entered the portal under the old rule, they got pounded in court and had to overturn it. The idea about so let's take the yoga instructor, for example. Let's dive into that, right? Or stretch into that, maybe is the better way to say it. Thank you for entertaining the dad joke. You're only allowed to have 5 strength and conditioning coaches because they brought somebody in to help the team do yoga. Just like we told you yesterday, they brought a Marine in to help them do drills because they brought in somebody that wasn't technically on staff as a strength and conditioning coach, and they did yoga with him, and they kind of instructed him, and they taught him how to do it. That's a rule. They broke that rule. Have you ever heard of anything so asinine and stupid in your entire life? They're all about player safety. They're all about players protecting themselves and protecting their bodies and being healthy and doing the right things and mental health and all these other things, but you're going to penalize a university for bringing in a yoga instructor? Somebody to help the kids stretch? Sorry for any yoga enthusiasts if I'm downplaying yoga at all, but absurd to me. Some of the tweets that are liked and some of the Instagram posts that are posted, and Coach Prime was doing a live on Instagram and a recruit jumped in and he hit accept and we're getting penalized for that. Silly, silly stuff, man. This is 2024, 2023 when it happened. But this is 2023, 2024. And this is the kind of stuff that they're all over. They refuse to pay the players. They make other people pay the players. They make boosters and companies pay the players because they won't share the revenue with them. And I'm all for players getting paid, but I think it should be coming from the NCAA. They're making millions and billion-dollar industry, and they refuse to pay the players, and so they're nitpicking on little things like this. I don't know. What do you guys think about the NCAA? What are your thoughts on them in general? What are your thoughts on them jumping on Coach Prime for something stupid here? Let's talk about it down below. Next up, let's talk about Colorado and Coach Prime absolutely rolling in the dough. Now, recently, BVM Sports advised that the Buffs released their fiscal 2023 financial report. Per the article, Colorado's total operating revenue for all sports in fiscal year 2023 amounted to $127 million in change. That sounds like a lot of money, but wait till you hear this. It's a staggering $32.2 million increase year over year. This was the first year in history ever that Colorado Athletics cracked the milestone $100 million revenue mark. And they did not just crack that mark. They far exceeded it, getting up to nearly $130 million in revenue. They made a ton of money. And obviously, it had a lot to do with Coach Prime getting out there to Boulder. Do you think that was a wise investment? We talk about the wins, going from 1 to 4, quadrupling your wins. It's nice. You want to win more. I get it. But do you think the revenue that the AD pulled in this year is something that makes the Colorado Board of Regents happy? One notable revenue-generating category was ticket sales, obviously. Merchandise also up a ton. But athletics generated $15.7 million in ticket sales during fiscal year 2023. $13 million of that came from, obviously, the football program. I got to get out to Boulder for a game this year. It sounds like Colorado's going to be playing in Orlando. I'm in Tampa, so that's an easy trip. Boulder's much tougher, but I'm jealous of all of you that went out to games in Boulder. If you went to a game in Boulder this year, saw them on the road, wherever, if you went to a game, let me know down in the comments. I'm jealous of you. I wish I would have been there. I think it's super cool that you guys got out there and checked it out. Now, lastly, we already know that Coach Prime has made this Colorado team an absolute cash cow, but I think it's just the start. I think that if they can get in there, and you'll see the increased revenue from media stuff with the Big 12 this year, but if you can see them start to put together more wins, if they can get up over that 6 mark, and then if they can approach that 9-10 mark to be competing for a playoff spot, I think that's when you'll really see stuff start to explode for Colorado and Coach Prime. Now, again, we've told you for the last couple of days about the new channel, about the national channel that we are embarking on. Listen, do me a favor. Hit the button on the screen right now. Go over and watch one video. See if you like it. If you do, great. If not, no sweat. Subscribe if you enjoy it. I got some Coach Prime content coming on there probably early next week. We're going to talk a little bit about the transfer portal on that national channel. You do not want to miss out, so click the video on the screen right now to check it out. And thank you guys, as always, for watching the Prime Time for college football.